All right, welcome to the business structure section of the Itty Bitty Microgreens coaching. In this section, we'll be going over the first steps to get started with your microgreens business. The first thing you're going to need to think about when getting started is location. Where are you going to be growing your microgreens? You want to set that up in if you're going to grow in your house, or if you're growing in a garage, growing in a commercial space, which most of us will not be starting in a commercial space. So you got to think logistically about where you're going to grow in your house. That's where most people are going to start, or your garage, wherever. But whatever location you pick, make sure you strategically plan out where you're going to be growing. Next, you'll need to know, are there any zoning laws? Most cities don't have rules against growing at your home, but you want to check to make sure. You don't want to start growing and then have to change things. So make sure with your laws in your area. Next, you're going to need to check, are there any local rules or regulations? Is there a homeowners association? Is there some crazy rule in your homeowners association? If you're in one, check that to make sure there's nothing in there, because sometimes they get a little crazy. So check your local regulations or your homeowners association as well, just to make sure there's nothing in there. In this picture, you'll see some of our first trays that we grew. Here we have different sets, different angles of them. Where we started peas. This is 4 different peas. The first one over there on the right side is green peas, which is what we started with. The very last tray on that, little white, just came out of germination thing, is speckled peas, which is what we grow now. And we wrote on them, dated them, when they were supposed to be done, all the information on a tag, just because we're new. And I do recommend this if you're new, to make sure that you know what you're growing, when you planted it. When you get experience and you're growing 200 trays a week like we are, you definitely won't need to do this after you probably 50 trays a week. You'll be good. And then we got broccoli in the middle there, and spicy mix down at the other end. So them are the ones we started with. As you can see, we grew on not even a 4-foot rack. The lights didn't even fit, but we made it work with what we could afford at the time to get started. We started growing so we could start selling. So that's where we started. In our formal living room is where we grew. It was 1 rack, 1 germination rack, 2 lights on them, which we grow with 1 light now. If you've been following any time, you'll know that we do 1 light. Yeah, and we grew on carpet, but we started. We all have to start somewhere. So start growing, start selling. Next, you'll need to decide a business name. If you haven't done this already, you'll need to decide a business name. You want to check with your local state to make sure the name isn't already taken. In most states, you can do this online at the Secretary of State website. It's pretty easy to look on there and find out if the business name is taken, and if you need to choose a different one. Check with them, or check with your local people as well. And in the US, you can check TESS, the trademark electronic search system, to see if there's any trademark issues as well. So you definitely want to check that, just make sure nobody's got your name trademarked, and check with the Secretary of State in the US to make sure that you don't have anybody else with your name in your state. And if you're in a different country, you can check up with whatever's in your area for that. I'm sure you can figure that out as well. Now you've chosen your business name, you're choosing your grow space, you're ready to grow, you're ready to sell, you got all that stuff done. So next, you're going to want to choose what entity you want to be. A DBA, which is doing business as, or an LLC, or a corporation. So we're going to dive a little bit into these, of what these are and what they mean. So a DBA is just simply doing business as, so sole proprietorship or partnership. Simplest way to get started. If your business is a sole proprietorship, you and your business are legally the same person. You're just doing business as. It's just you're using a different name as a company name. There isn't any assets protection, so your business and debts and your personal debts are all the same. This is a great starting point as you grow. You want to look to become either an LLC or a corporation, and we'll talk about what we would recommend and what you need to do for there. An LLC is a limited liability company. It is limited liability company, our partnership. An LLC limits the personal liability because an LLC is a legal separate person, really. It's another person you created. So it's separate from the owners, but if your banking is completely separate. So if you do this, you got to get a separate bank account 100%. I recommend doing that anyway, even doing the business as, doing a DBA. Get your business stuff separated. But you definitely want to do it if you're a limited liability company. Get that separated. Make sure everything's done so it protects you. Otherwise, if you're mingling them, you're breaking the veil of the LLC. Your investment into the business can still be lost, but your personal assets have some protection with this. So this is where most people are going to fall underneath. This is where most companies are these days, as an LLC. And you can get into tax designations and everything else down the road, but this is where most people are going to fall. Corporation is the most complicated option. Corporations have to hold annual shareholder meetings and make annual reports and pay annual fees to the state. They also have so much more complication record keeping requirement. This is why most of us won't be here for a very long time. Maybe if you're growing your business to 50,000 a month or more, somewhere in there, that's when you probably are going to maybe look at doing a corporation, but there's no need in this business really to get there, even probably at that level. This is for big corporations like IBM, Apple, companies like that. So just know that most people are going to fall underneath an LLC to do for the best protection. So registering your business. So you want to make sure you get your business registered. So nobody else can steal your business. A lot of this will depend on your location. So you want to check online registrations for sure. Most cities and counties will allow you to register online now, especially nowadays, everything's online. So you may be required to publishing your business name in a local newspaper for 1 to 2 weeks before being approved. This is just so somebody can say, no, that I have that name. And if somebody comes forward, then you have to have a battle or whatever. But 99.99% of the time, that's not going to happen. It's going to run for the 1 to 2 weeks, and then they're going to approve you. It did take us a few weeks to get our certificate in the mail. I think it was like 4 weeks total from publishing it, getting it set up, and then having it get sent out to us. So, but we started growing and selling anyway, saying that we were going to get it. So, biggest thing I can say is grow and sell. Where we are, we also had to register for the state sales tax number. You may want to check with your state to see if you need this as well. Sometimes even if you don't have to collect state sales tax, they still want you to register. In the state that we're in, we do pay a 1% grocery tax that we have to pay on our products, pass along to the customers. Most states do not have that in the US. They're usually 0% on groceries, but they still most likely will want you to register for that. So make sure you check that out. They may not, but make sure you check just to make sure you're legal and you don't have any issues with that. It's usually free and they don't charge anything. So now you got all that done. You got your business name set up. You decided your entity. You register your business. It's time to open a bank account. And you usually have to wait till you get a certificate to open the bank account and enter the business name. So you want to make sure you do that in that order. It is important to keep all your business expenses separated from your personal. This separation will help you, especially when it becomes either an LLC or a corporation. But it's even as sole proprietorship, this is still important. Separate your books. You can prove that it's business. This is personal. You want to make sure your stuff is separated, even doing business as. Totally separate bank account, separate charge cards if you're using them, everything. Keep it separate as much as possible. And then bookkeeping. This is a lot of things people forget about when you're running a business. You want to start this from the very beginning. You want to keep very good records. Having a separate bank account will help as well. If you can, it's just keep accurate records. This will not only help you know where your business is in spending, making money, but it would also be greatly appreciated when it's time to file taxes. If you're using an accountant or a bookkeeper, they will thank you a lot if you're keeping accurate records for them. Even if it's something simple like pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet will work fine. I'm a big Excel spreadsheet person, keeps records, it saves it, it's there, and you got it. But at least write stuff down of what you're spending on and what you're getting so you can keep good records so it helps later on. You're not trying to figure it out at the end of the year. But as you grow, I really suggest using an accounting software like a QuickBooks. There's many other ones out there, but QuickBooks is a great program and integrates with a lot of things. This will help you keep track of your income and expenses and offer quick and easy reporting to help you grow your business. Definitely look at that. It's not very expensive. You can get a certified bookkeeper to help you out, and they usually have discounts also to help you with QuickBooks. So check that out, and you can get one in your local area. Now you can get them nationwide. They can help you out. So definitely keep good records. So if you follow these steps, you should have a solid foundation to start your business. And you got to set your foundation first. You don't build a house without a foundation. So you got to set your foundation. And these are the foundations to start your microgreen business and make it successful. So if you're having trouble with any of these areas, feel free to reach out to either me or Jessica. Reach out in the Discord area, or you can ask the discussion area of this video as well. And during the bi-weekly Zoom is very helpful to ask questions there. Don't forget that bi-weekly Zooms that we're doing. You can come in there, ask questions. This is where you're going to get the most help immediately for yourself. Or on the Discord, that comes directly to our phones. So we're going to get that message right away and help you out if you got a problem that you need answered now. We want to be here to support you. So again, thank you very much for joining this course. And we will be going along with this business structure section here in the beginning and getting everything set up. And we will see you in the next one.